It is at the top of the hour here, and we are following breaking news with that shooting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. You heard the police chief just taking to the podium moments ago. Police say a gunman opened fire at a church on the Catholic school campus there on the city's south side. Children among the victims. At latest, we heard possibly 2 victims killed. The shooter also taken out. We do not know if that was self-inflicted or if he was taken down by police. This all happening around 8:30 their time. Let's listen in.
And a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
Chief, what can you tell us about the suspect in this case? How old was he? Any kind of motivation? Any notes or any other information you might have left behind?
So we were looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history. And we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive.
Yeah. Chief, do we know if he was a former student? Do you have about
how many children? There were, I don't have an exact, the question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of children inside the mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them.
Do we know if the shooter,
other than the weapons, what
was the shooter a student, former student? Was he a former employee? Do we know that?
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
Did he leave anything behind other than the weapon? Either like a note?
There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we will be conducting other searches related to this.
And what was that vehicle and where was it parked?
Inside the parking lot here.
Is there parking lot?
There was some neighbors who said that the door to the church had been barricaded.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least 2 doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire.
And on the outside?
On the outside, yes.
Is there a reason why officers are going?
Are there any explosive
The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one, I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke.
And which side of the building? North, south?
The side that is closest to us, here, on this side. Yeah.
Is there a reason why agents are also at these nearby homes?
I don't have specific information on that that I can
Was he
release.
dead from a gunshot wound, this suspect?
The question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
Was this outside or both inside that he was shooting?
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Chief, is this shooting related to any other shootings that happened in the last
So,
24 hours?
yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city.
Do you know approximately how many rounds were fired?
The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area, so obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
Was he firing just one weapon, like the rifle? Or
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
Chief, was this individual licensed to conceal and carry? Did he have any
Is,
background prior?
were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information, and I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either.
was he dressed at all in any tactical type of gear or anything?
It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo-type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, however you like.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have a lot
No more
work
questions?
that needs to be done. We will return back later today to provide more details as they become available.
All right, and that is the news conference here wrapping up at 12:06 our time over in Minneapolis after a shooter walked up to a Catholic school campus, right up to a church. During Mass, the children's first week back at school, you had dozens of children and staff members from the school sitting in pews praying when he apparently walked up to the back of that church and shot through windows, if not another door, killing an 8- and a 10-year-old child, injuring 17 others. We were told 14 of those were children, 2 of whom are critical. Police said the shooter was a young man in his early 20s who appeared to have taken his own life. This is all breaking news here at the top of the hour, and we will, of course, bring you the very latest. As you are seeing, things are still very active there in Minneapolis. We'll bring you what we know coming up throughout the hour. We'll be right back.